Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on, guys? It's Filthy and I'm back with another video. So we've had the D4 reveal, we've had gameplay, we've had cinematics, we've had a playable demo, lots of streams. There's absolutely tons of information to go through. I'm very excited for the game to come out. Now what I've done is I've been through lots of the information and I've summarised 7 things that I think are absolutely awesome about Diablo 4 that really do make me excited. But before we jump into it, I just want to welcome anyone who's new to the channel. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, particularly if you're interested in Diablo 4. It's a subject that I plan on covering quite a lot until the game's release. And as always guys, a thumbs up is greatly appreciated. But that's enough waffling, let's jump in and talk about 7 things that are absolutely awesome about Diablo 4. Now without a shadow of a doubt, the first one, the best thing for me, is the tone of the game, the theme, how it looks and how it was generally presented. So the cinematic trailer really sets the scene. It's full of blood, it's full of guts, it's full of gore. Blood is the key for the main 3 people in the trailer to open the gate. We get them pressed up against things with their intestines flying between them, making some kind of gate for the main protagonist Lilith to come through. She looks absolutely badass, really evil, can't wait to fight her. It's just really dark, scary, absolutely exactly what I wanted. Then we move on to Sanctuary. It looks like a really dark, gritty and visceral place. The story is that Heaven's gates have been closed and humanity's been left to fend for itself, and we've not done a very good job. So it's a bleak area, there's lots of death, lots of bodies, destruction, and it does look like a dangerous world. The dungeons look very dark, the monsters look badass. It just really does feel kind of like it's gone back to its roots from Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, where anything can kill you. It's a dangerous world to walk around in. Monsters are very dangerous, and I like that an awful lot. It really does look like a very good game. Now the combat also looks very dark and gritty. You've got body parts flying everywhere, barbarians using 2 weapons at once to slice enemies, and limbs going everywhere. You've got the druid ripping things to pieces, and even the sorceress, she can turn herself into a ball of electricity, but she doesn't just fry enemies, she doesn't just blast them apart, she absolutely eviscerates them into a pile of green goop. So you literally just see the monster's blood everywhere, and these types of things, the splats, the explosions, the physical engine looks really good, and yeah, the theme, the whole tone just looks absolutely perfect to me. Very excited. Now the second awesome thing is the druid. This is a new class, it's making a return from Diablo 2. I wanted this character in Diablo 3 for ages, but it never came. Now the druid is going to use lightning, physical attacks like earth, wind, one with the elements, that type of thing. He's also going to have pets, so you'll see him rocking around with 2 wolves. They look pretty badass, they do kill enemies for you, they do look really interesting. You can also transform yourself pretty quickly into either a werebear or a werewolf. Now the skills seem to be tied to the transmogs for this, and it seems to be a very fluid system. So you do a bear attack, you instantly turn into a bear. If you then press the button for a werewolf attack, you seamlessly transform into that. It just looks really cool. The ability to transform yourself into other things is something that I find very interesting. I do want to see more of this. I'm sure there will be further transmogs and things you can turn yourself into later, but at the moment all we've got is the bear and the werewolf, but it does look pretty cool. This isn't to say that the other classes don't look good, but it's just new. We haven't seen it in Diablo 3, so it does draw my interest more than anything else. Now they have confirmed that the game will ship with 5 characters, but in the demo and the reveal at the moment we've only got 3, so there are 2 open specs. Now I would guess we're going to get a range character, and I'm kind of hoping we're going to get a necromancer, so maybe something like the demon hunter from Diablo 3, and the necro would be brilliant, but we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, for the most part, druid looks the most interesting at the moment. Now number 3, and this got the biggest cheer actually at BlizzCon when they were doing the developmental team reveal for Diablo 4, is that we're going to get a talent tree, skill choices and rune words. Now the game will have skills which can be leveled up, and one of the interesting things about this is that that's going to be permanent. So it's a perma-choice system, so once you do level up a skill, that is then tied to your character. That does go more back towards Diablo 2 rather than Diablo 3, and I think it is a good choice. Permanency for an action RPG that you're going to sink a lot of time into, I think is an important thing, so I'm very pleased that they've brought this back. And the same goes for the talent tree. It looks like we can spend points and increase certain skills, we can augment our character in a different way, and basically with this type of game you want depth, you want the more ways to to build your character. Generally, the more you have, the better the game will play. We also get rune words, so these are things you can find, you can put them into your gear so they go into socketed slots, and they might change your skills up, they might give you extra bonuses, more damage, and again it's just different ways that you can augment your character. And as I say, we want depth. One of the main criticisms of Diablo 3 is that it is too casual, it's too easy to swap things around, so a talent tree, skill choices, rune words, all look like really good additions to the game. We'll obviously get more information on the systems as we go forward, but I think the whole concept behind it and returning more to a Diablo 2 type system definitely gets a huge thumbs up from me. Now the fourth thing is that the game has been confirmed as a non-linear story. It's going to be a huge open world with 5 separate areas. They're all going to have very different biomes. Each biome is going to get its own weather conditions. There's going to be a day-night cycle. Now I do enjoy campaigns in games. I do think the lore of Diablo and the story is something that I've remembered from Diablo 1 and 2, carried into Diablo 3, so it is very nice that we are going to get a campaign, but I do really like the fact that it's going to be open world and that we can do it in whatever order it is that we want. The flexibility of being able to play certain areas in certain orders I think is very important to modern games, and I'm very happy that we're going to get the open world system. Now they have also confirmed that the dungeons and the maps in general will still be randomly generated, and again that's obviously always been one of Diablo's selling points, the fact that you never really know exactly what you're going to kind of get every time you load into a dungeon. So the non-linear story, open world, again it's exactly what I wanted to hear and I'm very happy. In fact, the worlds look so big that we now have to take mounts to get places. So if you have a look at the map, you can see just how huge the areas are. There probably will be expansions, so there will be extra areas coming later. But I think it is interesting that they've decided to add mounts as a way to get from one point to another. There will still be waypoints in the game, again another classic Diablo feature. But if you think about the size, you need a horse to get around. Again, I think that's pretty interesting. The bigger Sanctuary is, the more areas there are for us to explore, the more stuff there is to do, I think the better this game will be. So again, another massive thumbs up. So number 5 is customization. They made quite a big thing about the characters being very customizable. So we get the usual stuff, we can pick the gender, the skin, we can do the hair. They're the kind of standard things you'd expect from any ARPG. But what I thought was really interesting is the customization is going to be very deep. So we get to pick tattoos, piercings, scars. Our characters will be able to be completely designed how we want them, and again I think that's a very good thing. Now even if you take something like the mounts that they've mentioned, that will be completely customizable as well, so armor pieces, transmogs, how they look. Obviously this does bring some microtransaction concerns, as in how are these things going to be monetized. There's no information on that at the moment, but in general transmogs are very popular in Diablo 3. And I think it's sensible to have a high level of customization, so we'll just have to see how many things we get to change. We're going to have to see how the monetization works, but again it's another very interesting thing I think for this game moving forwards. So number 6 is going to be trade. They have indicated that trading is coming back. Now Diablo 3 obviously took a huge step away from trading in some respects. It launched with a real money auction house. It has been confirmed that won't be returning for Diablo 4, which is obviously brilliant. But players will now have the ability to trade items. So it's going to be a 3-tier system, or at least that's what they envisage at the moment. So the tiers will basically be 1, items that can just be traded at all times, no restriction. 2, items that can be traded once, and once they have been traded once they will then bind to the person who bought them, so it's a one trade only item. And then thirdly, there will be items that are account bound like Diablo 3 and you can't trade them. I think the idea is that they want to have trade, they want to have community, but they also don't want to have it so that people can just log in, spend some money, pay to win, trade their way up and get all the best items in the game. So that seems like a really nice balance. Again, quite interesting. Looking at the itemization in general, they have confirmed that sets are going to make a return, but they are a gateway into the game. So they're not going to be as powerful as Diablo 3, so not everybody's going to be running around playing the same thing. There will be hundreds of legendaries at launch. They will have special powers. They will generally be as powerful, if not more powerful than sets, which is again quite interesting. When we pair this with the skill tree, the talent tree, skill level upgrades, that sort of thing, what this is saying to me is that there are going to be lots of build possibilities. It's not going to be the case that we're all driven down one skill with lots of multipliers. So again, build diversity does seem to be a thing. They want your characters to be individual to you, skills individual to you, and you can really personalize things as much as you want. And again, fits in with the customization. So all of this basically just looks like live out your fantasy. What is it you want to create? And you can do that with items, with skills, all that kind of stuff. And finally, guys, the last awesome thing is the open world bosses. Now, I'm a solo player, so I can understand if people have got solo concerns about this. I have indicated that you don't need to do these things to complete the game, but the basic premise is that you can be walking around Sanctuary, you'll get a notification for an open world event, and then there might be an event to do or a boss spawns. The one in the playable demo is a huge, gigantic creature, and it takes multiple people to destroy it. So you can't do it on your own, you do have to accept the notification in group, and it does add an interesting dynamic to the game. Logging on, not knowing exactly what you're going to get, provided there are enough random open world events, then I think this could be an excellent addition to the game, and I'm really excited to see what other kind of events they're going to come up with. But as I say, you can still play solo and complete the game, but there does seem to be quite a high emphasis on the social aspect of it, so possibly not quite MMO levels, but grouping and being social with people does seem to be encouraged. Now, not on the list, guys, is PvP, because it was supposed to be there in D3 and it didn't make it, so I don't want to let anybody down, but obviously it's another exciting thing that could easily have been included. And the final thing is that the game is coming to PC, Xbox One X and PS4. No mention of Mac, no mention of next gen consoles, but you'd have to assume that it will be on both those systems as well. So wrapping this up, guys, they're the 7 things that really piqued my interest. I think this game does look very good. It's exactly what I wanted. It's dark, gritty, gory, definitely going to be R-rated. All those things excite me. There seems to be a really high value placed on build diversity and character customization. Again, that's what I want. I want to build a character in my own particular way. I want it to look how I want it to look. I want it to have the skills that I find the most interesting. I want to be different from other people in some respects, so that's all really cool. We've also got a fairly high emphasis on social play, so open world events, trading, town hubs, that sort of thing. So everything that I've seen so far, I'm really excited. I'm going to learn as much as I can about the game over the next few days, and hopefully speaking, I'll be coming back with some more videos soon. So that's it, guys. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you have done, a thumbs up is always appreciated. And yeah, subscribe if you want some more videos, and I'll be back soon with some Diablo 4 content just as quick as I can. Peace.